Welcome everyone. We're here for a half-hour yoga pop-up, Silk Thread Slow Flow. We'll start in a chair, and we'll get going in about 5 minutes, grabbing whatever you think you might need for Silk Thread Slow Flow. Hello. All right. Well, let's get going. I'll invite you to find a comfortable chair. As we sit, I'll invite you to find the front of your chair using the muscles of your back to sit tall. I'll invite you to bring your palms on your knees. Relax shoulders tall through the crown. I'll invite you to tuck the chin ever so slightly without shortening the neck in any way as we start to take our attention inward. Softening the eyes if you're comfortable with closing your eyes, and taking a few breaths to watch your breath as it flows in and as it flows out. Arriving here for a slow flow silk thread yoga pop-up. From this place of just watching your breath, I'll invite you to shape your breath as we find a long, slow inhalation in and a long, slow exhalation out. And I'll invite you to trace the flow of that breath with your mind. As you breathe in, following the air as it moves through the chest, mid-chest, into the belly. And as you breathe out, following the breath as it moves from the belly, through the mid-chest, through the upper chest, and then out through the nose. I'll invite you to assign a color to the breath. Maybe choosing your favorite color. I'm going to choose the color gold. As I breathe in, I'm filling myself with a golden light. And as I breathe out, I'm offering that golden light into the world. To this deeper, fuller breath, let's move towards a very subtle form of the Ujjayi or ocean breath. A very, very slight constriction of the base of the throat, adding a very slight sound and feel to your breath. It's going to be so slight a sound that only you can hear it. And you might not even be hearing it with your ears. You might just hear it from the inside of your ears. And still imagining your breath as light, your favorite color. I'm going to stick with gold. Now finding our first silk thread as we take the tip of the tongue to the hard palate just behind the teeth. A very gentle touch. Almost as if it's no touch at all. It's just an awareness of the tongue being in that place. And the hard palate's awareness of the tongue being in that place also. Now envisioning a silk thread attached to each corner of your mouth. And those silk threads are gently lifting your mouth into a very slight smile. Now envisioning as if silk threads are attached to your eyelids, and if you close your eyes, those silk threads are going to gently pull your eyes open. From here, let's warm up our back with a twist each way. So we'll bring hand onto the side of the chair. We'll bring other hand to the top of the thigh. Let a silk thread draw your crown to the sky. And let a silk thread attach to one side of your body, pull you into a very gentle, slow twist. And it might take 3 or 4 long, slow breaths to get to your twist. Now letting a silk thread attach to the other side of your body, bring you back through center. And again, take your time, moving super, super slowly. When we get back to center, palms on our thighs, again envisioning that silk thread tugging the crown of the head to the top of the sky. Now bringing other hand to other side of chair. Other hand finds other high. Let that silk thread grow your spine tall. And then moving into your twist again, moving slowly. Maybe 3 or 4 breaths to get to your twist. Every inhale, sitting up a little taller, letting that silk thread tug you higher. With every exhale, letting that sideways silk thread pull you into the twist in such a gentle fashion that we don't tear that thread. And one more long, slow breath here as you breathe in, filling your body with that light. As you breathe out, seeing that light flow out into the world. Letting a silk thread gently bring you back through center. Again, take your time. When we arrive on center, palms on our thighs. From here, let's work with our neck a little bit. Let's envision a silk thread attached to your chin and a silk thread attached to the back of your head. That silk thread's going to gently pull the head back as we open up the base of the throat. And the silk thread on the chin is going to gently tuck the chin as we stretch out the back of the neck. And let's do this a few times, moving super, super slow. Again, being super careful not to rip or tear those threads. And then the next time that silk thread, tilt your head back, opening up the base of the throat, holding that for a couple of breaths. Letting the base of your throat fill with that light as you breathe in. And offering that light out as you breathe out. Now letting that silk thread on the chin, bring your head back through center. And then finding that tuck of the chin, super slow, super gentle. Now filling the back of your neck with that breath light. And as you breathe out, letting that breath light move out from that place. Now letting that silk thread on the back of your head bring your head back through center. Feel free to do this along with me. We'll do it super, super slow today, as if we have silk threads attached to our hands, and we don't want to tear those threads as we think about ears over shoulders, ears and shoulders over hips, ears, shoulders, hips over our sits bones. From here, let's sit up nice and tall, and let's work silk threads on our fingers. So we're going to lift our hands on up. It's almost like there's twin marionettes, and we're working those marionettes with our silk threads as we gently ripple our fingers. And now let's pretend there's silk threads attached to our side waist. We're going to start to twist it from side to side, but again, very gently, very slowly. Let's do one more each side, and let's hold it as that silk thread pulls it just a little bit further into the twist. Letting the silk thread on the opposite side of the body bring us back through center, and then gently pulling us into that twist on the other side. And then letting our silk thread bring us back through center, and we'll ground down to those hands being pulled down by our threads and resting our palms on our thighs. As we rest our palms on our thighs, I'll invite you to let the warmth of the hands penetrate through into the thighs. And then letting the warmth of the thighs penetrate out through the back of the hands. From here, let's come to a stand. Let's pretend like a silk thread is pulling us up. And I'll invite you not to use your hands on the chair. So we can float those hands. We can walk our heels in just a little bit. And then slowly letting a silk thread pull us up to a stand. Holding your stand, let me adjust computer a little bit here. As we stand, let me step a little bit farther back. Let's move that chair out of the way. Let me adjust the camera here. I want you to be able to see my head and my feet. And there we go. Just go feet hip width apart, and depending on how your hips are, I'll invite you to either angle the toes out or not. You want to be in a place where there's no tension inside and there's no tension outside. So for me, it looks like that. I want to soften the knees and I want to relax my shoulders. From here, let's pretend there's silk threads attached to the back of our hands, and we're going to lift those hands on up. Take it a little bit past parallel with the shoulders. And now we're going to pretend there's silk threads attached to our palms. We're going to lower those hands down as we bend the knees a little bit more. And then those silk threads are going to bring the hands past the hips behind us. Coordinating with the breath, we can inhale up as we fill our body with that breath color. And breathing out as we offer that breath color out. Inhaling up, exhaling back. Now let's do 3 more. Breathing in, lifting it up, exhaling, stretching it back. And again, we're pulling silk threads. We don't want to tear those threads. And let's do 1 more. Breathing in. And breathing out. And then hands by our side. From here, let's keep the knees soft. And let's pretend those silk threads attached to the back of the hands. And those silk threads are going to work crosswise as we take a spin to one side. Silk thread brings us to center. And just back and forth, moving very slowly. Inhaling through center and exhaling into the twist. And let's do a couple more each way. On this last one each side, let's hold as that silk thread twists us just a little bit more. Inhaling through center, letting that thread bring you through center, finding that twist the other way, and hold. And then back to center. From here again, let's float our hands. Let's imagine like there's a silk thread attached to the back of the hands as our hands lift up. And then our hands come back down. Feel free to add a straightening of the legs and a tilting back of the waist. Exhaling, we bend the knees and lean a little bit forward. Breathing in. Breathing out. And let's do 3 more. Breathing in. And breathing out. Breathing in. Breathing out. Let's do 1 more. Breathing in. And breathing out. From here, let's bring hands onto our hips. And let's step the left foot back as we find Warrior 1 prep. Let me go a little sideways here so you can see a better perspective. From here, let's pretend there's a silk thread attached to the back hip, and that silk thread is gently tugging our hip front. There's a silk thread attached to the back of the front hip, and it's gently tugging that hip back. From here, let's bring hands onto our shoulders, just relaxing those shoulders. From here, finding a clasp with the fingers, let's bring our palms behind the back of our head. I'll invite you to let the warmth of the palms warm up the back of the head, and letting the warmth of the back of the head penetrate out through the back of the hands. And then a very gentle push as if the back of your head being tugged by a silk thread as we push the head into the hands to widen the elbows. From here, releasing the clasp of the fingers, let's find a tray in front. Let's imagine there's silk threads attached to all our fingers. As we straighten the front leg, we're going to draw those threads, lengthening those threads as we tug them out of the cocoon. And without tearing those threads, we're going to circle the hands around as we rebend that front knee. So breathing in, gently forming that thread. Exhaling. Breathing in. And breathing out. And let's do 3 more. Breathing in. Breathing out. Breathing in. Breathing out. And last one. Breathing in. Breathing out. I'll invite you to hold this shape. Let's pretend there's silk threads attached to the back of the hands. Those hands are gently being tugged backwards. There's also threads attached to the back of the elbows. From here, let's bring hands to the hips without tearing those threads. Let's spin the back heel up as there's a silk thread attached to the back of the heel. We don't want to tear that thread. We're going to shift weight onto the front foot. We're going to slowly draw that back foot front without tearing the thread attached to the heel. From here, let's lose our silk threads a little bit. The silk thread work gets a little bit tense sometimes, so I'll invite you just to pretend like your body is 100% water and just releasing and relaxing. Super fluid here. And then hands come back to the hips. From here, let me get a different perspective here as we step our right foot back. Warrior One prep here. Again, we're going to pretend there's a silk thread attached to that back hip and is gently tugging that back hip forward. There's a silk thread attached to the front hip, and it's gently tugging that hip back. From here, hands, again, we don't want to tear the threads, come onto our shoulders, relaxing those shoulders. Now switching the cross of the fingers, without tearing those threads, we're going to bring the back of the head into the hands. And as we hold here, again, just envisioning the warmth of the hands penetrating into the back of the head, and the warmth of the back of the head penetrating out through the back of the hands. And then as if there's a silk thread attached to the back of the head, it's going to gently push into the hands as we widen the elbows. From here, without tearing the threads, releasing the clasp of the fingers, finding that tray in front, we're going to envision a silk thread attached to each thumb and finger. We don't want to tear those threads. We're slowly tugging the thread out of the cocoon. And without tearing the threads, we circle the hands around. Let's do that a few times, coordinated with the breath, breathing in and breathing out. Breathing in and breathing out. And let's do 3 more. Breathing in and breathing out. Last 2, breathing in and breathing out. Last one, let's hold. Inhale. Exhale and hold. Pretend there's a thread attached to the back of the hand, the back of the elbow. Those threads are bringing our arms front as we stretch out in a very gentle fashion, the front of the chest. From here, let's bring hands to hips without ripping those threads. As if there's a thread attached to the back heel, we're going to lift the back heel. We're going to shift the weight into the front foot. We're going to slowly draw that thread front as we take a step front. And then when that foot arrives, it's releasing all threads and just getting super loose, super jiggly, super wiggly. and then back to our stand, nice and wide with the feet, soft, soft knees. Let's do a couple more breath exercises. And again, I'll invite you to visualize that color of the breath. So we're going to push one hand up, one hand down. We'll take a twist to each side. And again, we'll pretend like there's threads attached to our body, and we don't want to tear those threads. So on the inhale, we turn to the left, pushing left hand up, right hand down. Don't tear the threads. Exhaling through center, and we'll go to the right. Right hand up, left hand down. And let's do 6 of these. This is 3. And a couple more each way. One more each side. Let's hold. As that silk thread pulls that left hand higher, right hand lower. A silk thread attached to the waist. Twist us a little bit further. Breathing in, filling our body with light. Breathing out, offering that light out to the world. Letting an inhale bring you through center, and we'll find one hand up, one hand down on the other side. And again, feel like those threads are gently encouraging a little more height in the hand, a little more lower in that lower hand, a little more twist, twist, twist. And then back to center. I'll invite you to bring your hands to your heart. Let's connect each fingertip. There's a nice amount of space between the palms. From here, let's bring the tip of the thumbs to the heart. From here, let's bring the tip of the thumbs to our lips. And from here, let's bring the tip of the thumbs to the third eye or brow. Now releasing this hand gesture as we bring our hands by our side. Before we sit down, let's do one more exercise here. Let's pretend there's a silk thread attached to the tip of the thumb. Let's go gently tug that thumb inside the hand. And there's a silk thread attached to the back of the thumb. And it's going to take the thumb behind the hand, any amount. And just back and forth, not ripping those threads. And let's do 3 more. And last 2. On this last one, as we bring the thumb inside the hand, that thread's going to take it a little bit further as we hold an extra breath. And then bringing that thumb outside the hand and holding it for an extra breath. And then hands by our side. Let's grab our chair again. And we'll sit back down in our chair. Let's do so very slowly, very deliberately. A little bit of core engagement here. Let's pretend there's silk threads attached to our backside. Make sure the chair is appropriately placed. I don't want anyone to plop onto the floor. So those silk threads are slowly, slowly sitting us down. You probably start to feel a lot of thigh engagement here. And then once you sit down, palms on our thighs. Let's end our exercises this morning with a 3-part breath, both on the inhale and on the exhale. So I'll invite you to bring hand on the belly, a hand on the heart. So we've got 3 regions here, belly, hand, in between the hands and heart hand. And again, coming back to that color. So let's do a three-part inhale. I'll invite you to breathe into your belly hand, filling the belly with that color breath. Between the two hands, into that heart hand, and just letting that color breath push out. Breathing into belly hand, between the two hands, heart hand, and just let it push out. Let's do one more round here. Breathing into belly hand, between the two hands, heart hand, and let it push out. Now let's switch our hands here, again pretending like there's threads attached to the hands. We don't want to rip those threads. Other hand on heart, other hand on belly, and we'll do a three-part exhale. So long, smooth breath in, and we'll send color breath out from chest up, heart hand, between the hands, belly hand. Long, smooth breath in. Sending color breath out from heart hand, between the two hands, and finally belly hand. One more round here. Long, smooth breath in. Sending breath out from heart hand, between the two hands, belly hand. And then without ripping those threads, let's bring our hands onto our thighs. Let's take 3 long, smooth breaths in, long, smooth breaths out. And let's count the breath, and we'll lengthen the breath. And then we'll sit and relax for a minute or so. So breathing in, again, color breath for 1, 2, 3. Breathing out, 3, 2, 1. Second round, we'll lengthen. Breathing in for 1, 2, 3, 4. Breathing out for 4, 3, 2, 1. One more round here. Breathing in for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Breathing out 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And if you're comfortable with closing your eyes, closing your eyes. And let's hang out for another minute or so, just sitting in our chair, watching as our breath flows in and out. And as we sit a little bit longer, even letting that focus soften, we start to take our senses inside. And I'm going to ring these yoga bells one time. From this place of ambient silence, I'd like to bring your hands to your heart, lining up each finger, a light press of your thumbs against your sternum. Ending our practice as we started, just watching as our breath flows in and out. From this place of breath awareness, I'll invite you to bow as you thank yourself for practicing pop-up yoga, and as we offer our practice out to each other and to the world. The light within me honors and respects the light within you, and in this, we are one. Namaste. Thank you for practicing with me this morning. We'll see you real soon. I'm going to do a noon online, a little more active flow class tomorrow at noon. And if you're here in the city, feel free to practice with me live, either on the roof at Bay Club Greenwich or on the pool deck at Bay Club Gateway. Anyway, have a nice day. We'll see you all real soon. It's been lovely practicing with you.